Hey, what's going on, comic fans? Mr. Q Comics. Got another comic haul here. This is my always favorite local collectible shows, which is typically mostly ends up being baseball cards. But this one that I go to, there's a couple. There's two or three of them that happen like every 2 or 3 months each. And usually it's the same guys there. This one in particular, there's 2 dealers I go to. So I'm going to show off what I got from my favorite dealer, who's pretty much all comics, also does some sports cards and stuff, but he just has hundreds of thousands of books. Every time I go to a show, I'm connecting with this guy, giving him a list of things. He's always got new stuff, and I always bundle with this guy. I go in, I always drop 100 to, God, 400 bucks, you know, so always bundle it up to get the best deals with this guy. He recently added dollar bins this year, which has been awesome. I've been getting tons of really nice keys out of there. Not always in the best of shape, but there's some good stuff to be had. So first thing I'm going to do is go through the dollar bin books I got, because I got a lot. I got basically a short box from this guy this time. What he does, he goes through his entire collection that he's got out, and he pulls anything that's $4 or less, and he hucks it in his dollar bins. Now, a lot of that $4 stuff has been sitting in his boxes for years at $4. So he goes strictly off the price guide. So any modern stuff that is spiked, it's always a good chance it's going to be in there and not caught, because it could have guided at, you know, $4 4 years ago. And so it just ends up in the dollar bin. So I comb through them. So let's jump right in. All-American Men of War, number 95. This is just some low-grade Silver Age stuff for $1. I'm not going to pass it up. He had a couple of these war books. 114 as well. Not my thing, but definitely great for reselling or trades. We got Avengers Annual number 8. Pretty cool cover. Nothing really of significance there, but good shape, so I grabbed it. Early Batman, I'm going to take for $1 all the time. 25-cent cover. This is $2.63. Pretty cool Riddler cover there. I don't think I have that one. This is a nice book for $1. Batman 400, newsstand copy. So this is a great cover by Bill Sienkiewicz. And it's got a 2-page intro by Stephen King, which is kind of cool. And this is typically like a $15 to $20 book, at least at all my other shops. And it's in pretty good shape it's a newsstand copy, like I said. It's probably very fine. It's got a few spine ticks there, but for $1, I'm pretty psyched to have that. A few Captain Marvel back issues, pretty beat up. 42 and 61. Bronze Age stuff for $1. You can't beat it. This is cool. I'm a big Conan fan. Number 9, early Bronze Age. Barry Windsor Smith, art and cover. Some more Bronze Age stuff. We got some Kirby monsters here. Creatures on the Loose, number 11. And number 13. Again, nothing really, you know, not keys or anything, but just cool Jack Kirby stuff. Classic Kirby monsters here. He had a good run of this series. This is similar to Secret Wars. I will usually grab these when I find them pretty cheap. The kind of quintessential, I guess we'll call them maxi series of the 80s from DC. Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 3. Got number 4. So, okay, number 3 was the second cameo of Anti-Monitor. 4 is got an early Constantine cameo. Each of these is listed as, you know, some sort of minor key. He had a copy of number 8, which is typically one of the better books from the run, Death of Flash. I didn't have this one, number 9, which is a great George Perez cover. One of those covers where he's got like 100 heroes or villains in it. I love that cover. I think it's awesome. And that one's in pretty good shape in a newsstand. I think I had the whole run and then I sold it once, so I've kind of been piecing them back together again. You know, when I find them in really good shape, I hold on to them. So number 9 has got the debut of a Charlton character, Ghost. I honestly don't know who that is. He had 10, which is the Death of Starman. Copy of 11. These white ones were really kind of dirty out of the dollar bin. Some of these I don't even think were in bags and boards. This one definitely needs to be cleaned up. And he had number 12, which I think is the death of like multiple characters. All right, he had Daredevil 94, just early Bronze Age Daredevil. I grabbed a copy of 190. I will grab the Frank Miller run every time when I find it in good shape and cheap. So that's a good book. This was kind of cool. I've never really gotten into this, but he had this in there. It's the Marvel, the Epic Comics imprint, and I thought these were really cool. I think I have number 1 from a yard sale a couple years ago. It's Elektra Assassin. Number 2, these are awesome Bill Sienkiewicz covers, and I think Frank Miller did the story. I never really read it, but I think these are just really cool Sienkiewicz covers. Number 2, number 4. Number 5, I'm honestly not sure if number 5 is Sienkiewicz cover there. I think it is. Weird signature there. I'm not sure what that is. I've never seen him mark the books like that. But number 6. And number 8. All in pretty decent shape. Very fine. A couple of them a little better. These I grabbed just because, obviously not even homages, pretty much full-on copies of FF 48 and 49. It's a Fantastic Four 390 and 391. Since I can't afford a copy of 48, I might as well get the cover swipe there. I don't think they're really worth anything, but still kind of cool for $1, so I grabbed them. Some more Green Lantern 173, first appearance of Javelin, and 195. This is Guy Gardner takes over as Green Lantern. This is a really beat up copy, but I grabbed it just because it was there. Iron Man 219. It's, really beat up for a modern book. First appearance of Ghost. This is a book I find quite a bit in dollar bins. Justice League of America Annual number 2, which is multiple first appearances. It's the first Vibe, first Gypsy, and first Steel. So same thing. I grab those every time I find them. People seem to be paying, $10 to $20 depending upon the condition. All right, we got another stack here. All right, Long Shot number 6. This is cool. Art Adams artwork. I can't remember if this got a first appearance. I don't think it does. I know Long Shot number 1 is the first Long Shot. I think the first Mojo's in that run as well. This had some crud on it I didn't see. I wouldn't have picked it up otherwise. But again, these 80s miniseries, I like to grab them, and I dig the Art Adams. I like the 80s Arthur Adams covers. I'm not a huge fan of Art Adams today, but I love the 80s stuff he did. Another copy of Machine Man number 1. I've gotten this a few times cheap. This one's not in great shape, but still for $1. Silver Surfer miniseries, Epic Comics. I think that's a cool cover. That's in pretty good shape. I see this, listed at other shops for $15 to $20. I don't know why. I don't think it goes for much. It's like Silver Surfer Volume 3, I think. I can't even remember. There's like 6 volumes of the Silver Surfer, but I definitely like that Galactus Silver Surfer cover. Spider-Man 16. I love this McFarlane cover. The landscape Spider-Man with X-Force. Pretty cool. It's another book I find in dollar bins a lot that I always pick up. I know I had a ton of Star Wars stuff, so I have most of the Star Wars 70s run, but I couldn't resist for $1. So Star Wars number 15. This is the Whitman pack one. It's got the black diamond and nothing in the box there. So that came in the Whitman 3 packs. So I got 2 of those. And I'll keep the Whitman one. One I put in my yard that'll go on my PC just because I don't have a Whitman copy. Number 23 in the Whitman. Some of these are lower grade. Some are, mid-grade. So we got 35. 37, 38, 40. Most of these I already have in much better shape. So 41, this one's beat up, but this is like the first cameo of Yoda. Of course, 42 is the big book, which every time he has these ones, 42 is always pulled. So, but I do have a copy of 42. I just need a better copy. You got 43 as well, which is the first Lando Calrissian. 44 and 47. He did not have any of the higher numbers, which is actually what I'm trying to get. Those are the ones I'm missing. 50. 50 is the first full IG-88, which is like an android bounty hunter. I think he's got a cameo in 42 as well. But yeah, the higher number one's actually pretty pricey in all my shops. You know, when you head up to that last issue, I think low print runs, and they're all like $10 books, if not more. 53 and 56. I think maybe I got a few of them here, but not as many as I wanted. 57. Go on down again here, last stack. 57 and 58. 60 and 61. 62 and 65. Yeah, big run of Star Wars. 66 and 67. 72 and 75. I think I'd had pretty much the run right up through about 77. Speaking of 77, there's 77, 78, or 80, sorry. Yeah, here's some of the ones I was missing. 91. They're not in great shape, though. They are beat up. But I picked them up just to fill the run because I didn't have them. And 100. So I think 100 is the last one I got. Again, really beat up. I think the run goes up to 107, and that last issue is pretty pricey, actually, as well. And I didn't have this annual number 3 Cool Vader cover. So that was it for the Star Wars run. Again, everything for $1, so I couldn't resist. The last couple dollar books, Bronze Age, Tomb of Dracula, number 7. And finally, this is one of my favorite books from my childhood, and it's in really great shape. Wolverine, the Jungle Adventure, graphic novel, standalone graphic novel. It's not like a compilation or whatever you call it, combined trade or anything like that. It's just standalone 80s graphic novel. Great art by Mike Mignola. This is a dirt cheap book, and I just love the art on it. So much better copy than the one I had. So I'll keep the one I have as a reader. And this is a nice pristine copy to hold on to. So that's it for the dollar book, guys. I'm going to break out the higher end stuff, or the stuff I paid more for, in a separate video, part 2. I got a nice stack of $2 stuff, which was basically a bunch of lower price stuff I got him to agree to $2 each on, and then a stack of nice keys, a lot of Bronze Age stuff, Batman, some good, yeah, some really good stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Please come back for part 2. And as always, you know, please subscribe, hit the like button, all that good stuff. And happy hunting, guys.